If you're not watching Titans Season 2 at this point, you should be. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys my review on Titans Episode 8 of Season 2, Jericho. And what a jaw-dropping episode it was, guys. It was unbelievable. It had me at the edge of my seat completely. And that's not just because it's cold over here where I live. It really had me at the edge of my seat. The acting, the themes, and the performances and action was unbelievable. Every episode, like I said, I keep saying this, but it's true. Every episode, it just gets better and better with the acting and the casting and everything. It's amazing. But what I definitely also loved is how this episode could be loosely based off the Judas contract without even having the Judas contract involved in it. That and the fact that we learn more about Deathstroke's history with his family and who he worked for. So as you know, he was part of the army and stuff, and the army had a special unit known as Hive. So in this one, Hive was part of the army, and Deathstroke got his powers through Hive, and yeah, basically like the military, and through Hive this time, which is a little different compared to when he lost his first son, Grant Morrison, got his powers through Hive. Deathstroke never got his powers through Hive. So that's an interesting twist right there. And of course, this is also how we learned that Jericho inherited his powers, and I'll get to that here soon. But also, it can really show here in this episode that yes, Deathstroke may be an assassin for hire and everything, but this version of Deathstroke and this iteration of the universe where the Titans are from, he's not exactly bad. He is actually good in most cases, at least when it comes to his family, because the truth is when he realized that what his work was doing and how it was interrupting his family, he decided to lead them. But before all that, his work got his family involved. It really showed he loved his son more than anything. Even at the end of this episode, he still loves his son more than anything and wanted to keep him safe. That it also still shows that while he loves his family, he was a war hero and he was just a soldier. This is just what he loved. This is just who he was and what he wanted to do. And unfortunately, it came at consequences. When he left the army, he was doing a cover-up, was an insurance job, but it was actually just assassins for hire, to the point where yes, Jericho, just like in the comics, held that knife point by his throat, and the fight breaks out. He loses his voice by having his throat slit. So yeah, they stayed very on point there in the comic iterations of that. It was great though to see the complicated relationship that he had with his family from there, and even to then, when Jericho eventually found out who his father was. And he finds it out through the Titans. So as you guys know, the Titans, back in the episode where Aqualad had died, this is pretty much following that up. The Titans were trying to use Deathstroke's son to find out information about him, but they spend more time with them. They start to like this kid, and they don't want to be doing this anymore. And yeah, even I can't blame them. I mean, that kid was amazing. Why would you want to use that kid when he has nothing to do with his father and stuff? Do you see, guys? This episode really delved into what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, let me put it this way. It delved into the themes of both lies, revenge, love, and family. Now, the revenge part was all on the Titans, per se, and so was the lying. But lying wasn't just on the Titans part, it was on Deathstroke's side too, with Deathstroke and his former wife, Jericho's mother. So, yeah, Jericho never knew about his father being an assassin for hire who makes money by killing people until he met the Titans, who, when the Titans realized that they don't like what they're doing, decide to share with Jericho the whole truth that they're the Titans and everything. They revealed who his father was. And this is where it showed how lies, revenge, consequences. They have consequences. All of them have consequences. And yeah, yes, it really showed here, because when Jericho found out who his father was, he was really mad, not just about who his father was, but in the fact that his mother never told him the truth, lied to him about the part on that about him being an assassin for hire to make a living. And of course, she was only doing it to protect him, which is true. No one's ever saying lies are completely bad. Sometimes lies are used to protect the ones you love. Of course, eventually you gotta let them know before that very lie could end up having unfortunate consequences, which happened with Deathstroke's family and the Titans in general. The lies and the part for revenge, it all just came ahead at the end of the episode. So like Jericho. So in the end, once everything was revealed to him, like Jericho at first was gonna work with the Titans to put a stop to his father because he just didn't like how his father was being who he was. But at the same time, that's still his dad. He still loves him. So he wants to try to figure out if they can work this out in some shape or form. Of course, he wanted also to show the Titans one thing that the Titans really weren't showing: honesty. Because before he wanted to go see his father, he told Grayson and wanted Grayson to make the let him know if it's okay to go see him and stuff. And yes, he lets him go, but it definitely helped in infecting the Titans and showing them how their revenge has made them go this far, to not only lying to him, but to each other, and going down a darker path. One such form is when Dawn, aka Dove, back in episode 3 of at the end when Aqualad died, she said for Grayson to be Batman. Well, in this episode, that's exactly what he was doing. He was being Batman, making all these choices, but bear in mind, he was still very reluctant and hesitant to do it and stuff. And it was really showing that it was already breaking up Dawn's and Grayson's relationship, and it really, I'm sorry guys, this episode really got to me, so I need to breathe for a minute. Okay, I'm back. So, Dawn and Grayson's relationship really started to break up at this point because Grayson was just so determined to find Deathstroke and stuff that this pretty much explains how those two broke up to begin with. And yes, it shows how Dawn realized she made a mistake in asking Grayson to be Batman. But for Wonder Girl, Donna Troy, she was all about revenge for this one here, because, yes, she was using Deathstroke's kid and she knew that, and maybe some part of her was bothered by it, but she was too full on wanting revenge for it to really show. But we all know she really felt that way. And speaking of which, it turns out that though Aqualad wasn't the real target. The real target was a woman named Julia, Donna Troy's advisor slash mentor figure. And she was the actual real target. Unfortunately, Aqualad just got in the way. So unfortunate accidents right there. Unfortunate consequences. There's another one right there for you. He was one of those consequences through Deathstroke's decision to be an assassin for hire and everything. And then, like I said, revenge and lies caused the consequences for the Titans and Deathstroke in general with Jericho's fate. Because while Grayson allowed Jericho to go see his father, before all that happened, since Deathstroke was informed by his ex-wife that Jericho was now with the Titans, or better yet, he already knew thanks to Wintergreen, because they had went to try to find Wintergreen to find Deathstroke. But either case, accomplished his mission by taking out Julian, but also we had a really awesome moment of Donna Troy versus Deathstroke right there. And I did love that fight. It was a really great fight, but not as great as the last one. But still, it was an amazing fight to see, and basically he was doing all that to tell Donna Troy to stay away from his son. Basically a warning and stuff. And after doing that, he went to meet his son, Jericho, and revealed to him everything thing that he didn't know. And it looked like they might have reconciled there. But unfortunately, with Donna Troy having lost and gotten badly beaten, that just made Robin go full on berserk mode and let his emotions distract him to go and interrupt the meeting, which led into the very epic fight scene, best of all yet in this season of Titans, Robin versus Deathstroke. It was amazing. I was just like, continue to fight, guys. This is just too much. It was almost like I didn't want it to end. I was so psyched by it. It was unbelievable. But as y'all know, it all ended where like it looked like Deathstroke had Robin because Robin was too emotional, wasn't really fighting right, and in the end, he would have died, but Jericho shielded him, and in the process, Deathstroke killed his son. And that, guys, is exactly how it all comes to be. Why Grayson is the way he is, why the Titans are the way they are, and yeah, all mad at Grayson for what he did that time. Well, not Donna Troy. She was mad, yes, but she wasn't really that mad because she knows Grayson was just being like her, not unlike Hawk and Dove, who were really mad at him. But hey, Grayson was mad at himself, and this is how it explains how he kills Deathstroke's son. He didn't necessarily kill him physically, but he feels responsible for it. And in a way, yes, he is responsible. But at the same time, so is Deathstroke. It all happened because these guys all played their cards wrong, and the lies, the revenge, equal the consequence of Jericho's death. And really, it is a shame that he isn't going to be in other episodes, because I was really hoping he was, when we were announced that Chella Man was going to be Jericho, we were going to be seeing him in the present, because I really wanted to see the interaction that Rose and Jericho were going to have together, and them working with the Titans. But still, this one episode alone, Chella Man did it right. He nailed it as Jericho. The first ever live action appearance of Jericho, and this is what we get. It was great. Chella Man was amazing. The sign languages he did, and even then the times when he talked before his throat was slit was unbelievable. And of course, yes, he did have the powers too. The power to hop into people's body and control them. Sure, we may not have gotten to see it action-pack wise with like stopping criminals and stuff, but he did use it to stop conflicts from erupting, such as when he used it to prevent his father from trying to beat up a jerk for just being a bad driver, or a guy who was just giving a salesperson at the record store he goes to a hard time. And also the one other part was the funny moment where he went into Hank's body. Oh, that was funny. He went into his body dancing with Don. It was hilarious. It was great to at least see how the special effects they were going to use with Jericho's abilities and stuff. But it was disappointing that, yeah, he's not alive, so we won't be able to see it per se. But this is where I think maybe he is still alive, because what happened at the end with Deathstroke killing his son like that, it was like a little Easter egg to the comics, to the comic issue, to how he ran his sword through Jericho to stop him. And instead, it's the other way around. Deathstroke was trying to run his sword through Robin, but Jericho ran it through himself to stop his father. So, and in doing so, later on, we found out that Jericho's still alive, and his powers, he was like a ghost and everything. And maybe that's exactly what we're getting and going forward in season 2. What if he is a ghost? What if he's still in the Titans Tower and everything? Because the whole thing I mentioned about with Jason and him possibly have done all that stuff, it was possibly him being possessed by Jericho, but maybe he's not possessed by Jericho, because after seeing last week's episode, when I watched it again, I noticed that Beast Boy was just kind of acting like he was just doing his own thing, and I'm thinking, what if he kind of was, but kind of wasn't? What if Jericho maybe possesses him? That's only if Jericho's powers are going to be like that in this universe. I don't know. All I just know is, guys, this was if this does happen, one can only wonder what we're going to see going forward. But definitely, guys, it was a great episode. The epic fight of Deathstroke versus Donna Troy, but especially Robin versus Deathstroke. That was unbelievable. It was great. Amazing. I can't say how much more of this I can say. I don't know, because I could go on for this forever, because this episode was just great. The themes that were used here, lies, revenge, love, family, consequences, really showed here. But before I go, one thing this episode also showed me is that the complicated father-son relationship Jericho and Deathstroke were having kind of mirrors what is famously known with Grayson and Batman. But I'm only talking in this iteration. I have seen the iteration of the comics of Deathstroke and his son Jericho and his daughter Rose to know that that's a little different. But here, not so much. But definitely, guys, love the episode. And well, I don't have any more to say other than that. Other than the fact that if you guys are enjoying my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer, signing out. Bye!